What a finish in Houston. Thanks for joining us here for our post-game coverage on CBS Sports HQ between Houston and Memphis. I'm Sherry Burris. Dramatic finish. Let's show you the box score, how this one just wrapped up on CBS. Number 9, Houston surviving against Memphis. Your final 67-64. Memphis with a chance to tie. They missed the 3, but Boogie Ellis able to splash the 3. Instead of just explaining it, let's show you exactly these last 2 plays, what happened in this game. Incredible. Final seconds of the game. Memphis, like we said, a chance to win it. This 3 off the mark. They're able to get the ball back. This is Boogie Ellis splashing the tray. So Memphis tying the game, 1.5 on the clock. So Houston with an inbounds pass to go. But you have to think, Memphis feeling really good. This game all about them needing to make the tournament. So the inbound, pretty long pass. Trayvon Mark at the buzzer. Yes, young man, they review this. It is good. He got that shot off well before the clock hit 0. So again, number 9 Houston hanging on, surviving their home win streak now at 25 straight as they defeat Memphis 67-64. Matt Norlander and Gary Parrish, hosts of the Eye on College Basketball podcast, here with us. Guys, I gasped at the 3 for Memphis, at the 3 for Houston. That was an incredible finish. GP, what did you make of it?
Well, first and foremost, yeah, an incredible finish, like you pointed out. Big shot from Boogie Ellis. And then, honestly, I was getting out of my chair, going back into my office to watch the end of the game. I thought we were probably headed to overtime. And then, of course, what happened. And it's just a heartbreaker for Memphis. You know, as we established, pregame and at halftime, the Tigers needed this more than Houston needed it. Houston's in the bracket as a high seed no matter what. Penny Hardaway's team needed this quad 1 victory in the regular season finale to have a chance to get on the right side of the bubble and have a chance to get an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. With that heave at the buzzer, that's all over now. Memphis is going to have to win the American Athletic Conference tournament and get the league's auto bid, or there'll be a team that played well down the stretch that ends up in the NIT.
What are we even doing here with this shot? What are we doing with that shot, Trayvon Mark? Banked off, scramble play from 40 feet out, from the U, from the logo. Absurd. In the play before, I mean, it was a terrible, just broken possession for Memphis. Boogie Ellis saves their tournament hopes for all of what? 77 seconds in real time. Parrish is, of course, correct. Memphis needed to win this game to even have a case to bring to the table that it was deserving of a bid. That is now gone. Memphis now needs to win the American Athletic Conference tournament's automatic bid. It will not have enough chances to get enough quality wins otherwise. It has to win the auto bid. Houston, that's a goosebumps moment. We have had 2 plays in 2 straight days on CBS where the March vibes are just dripping. You had USC, Taj Edey hit it from the corner to beat UCLA in the final second on Saturday. And here we start off the day with this. Matt, again, look at this play. This is a prayer. This is like, I'm just going to, oh, okay, it's in. Oh, okay, and now we're running. This is incredible. Like this. If this happened in the first round of the tournament, it immediately goes on to like the top 15 all-time highlight reel. It does that for Houston's purposes, but because it's the regular season, like it's a great March mini story. I hope this is a preview of what we're getting in the postseason. Good on Houston, which keeps its 2-seed hopes alive because of the victory.
As they say, this is March. This is kind of what we expect this time of year. I also thought, Gary, we were going to go to overtime, so I was like putting my pen down, but here we are. Houston hanging on. So what is their tournament ceiling when you look at what they were able to do, the adversity they were able to overcome, particularly late, Matt, as they think of, dancing in the tournament?
Houston has a very high ceiling. I think that's a Final Four capable team, depending on which region of the bracket it lands in. Like if Houston happens to be the 3 in the same region where Gonzaga is, I'm not going to pick Houston to get there. But if it gets the right kind of matchup, it's certainly good enough, defensively elite enough. You saw Dejan Jarreau, by the way, was outstanding in this game on the whole. An ending like that overshadows everything that comes before it. And Houston really, it had a 3-point lead. Memphis had a broken possession. So that was almost like a course correction in terms of Houston just winning because it was on pace to do that as is. A good game for Memphis, but yeah, I do think that Houston's got really strong second weekend potential. Kelvin Sampson, big picture, has built a wonderful program. I mean, you think back 7, 10, 20, 30 years ago. I mean, this was a school that was completely irrelevant, had one of the worst home venues. It's been since, renovated. He's built up this roster. It's old, strong Quentin Grimes, a Kansas transfer. Yeah, I mean, Houston's going to be a 2 or a 3, and it's got serious, Final Four potential, maybe even a sleeper, because again, as we mentioned in pregame, this team has not been buzzed about since mid-December on. It just has had a lot of games that haven't been that relevant, but a game like this gets you relevant in a hurry. And if they have the right matchups, yes, the Cougars can get back to the Final Four for the first time since the mid-'80s.
Yeah, Houston is probably going to be a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament if it wins the American Athletic Conference tournament, a 3 seed if it doesn't. They're pretty much locked into that range. I just don't think they're going to be able to match in the first quadrant what Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, and at this point, Illinois are going to have been able to do. And if Illinois were to slip up in the Big Ten tournament, then there's plenty of teams that are going to have better quadrant 1 situations than Houston. Alabama, if it wins the SEC tournament. Iowa, if it wins the Big Ten tournament. So Houston's probably a 2 at best, a 3 at worst. And either way, a legitimate Final Four contender. I mean, you saw it today. They grabbed 15 offensive rebounds. The second best offensive rebounding team in America. They grab about 40% of their own misses. They're terrific defensively. They gave Memphis big problems for parts of the game. And so when you can guard the way Houston guards, an offensive rebound to create possessions the way Houston offensive rebounds to create extra possessions, and then you've got a real star in Quentin Grimes, not just a former Kansas Jayhawk, but a former McDonald's All-American, 5-star recruit. It took him till his junior season of basketball to play to that level, to play to his potential. But he has been magnificent all season, and somebody who is about to be probably a second team or a third team All-American.
If this was an appetizer for what we're going to get in, a week or so, I'm ready for the main course. Matt Norlander, Gary Parrish, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate it as always. And get more from Matt and Gary on the Eye on College Basketball podcast. The craziness just getting started. Make sure you have all the storylines and news you need as we get ready for this year's NCAA tournament. Download and subscribe to the podcast today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.